Welcome to week one of Against the Spread. The 2022 season is here. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart, or that's Cam Stewart. I don't remember which side of the time or side of my shoulder he's on. I think it's this one.
Yeah, you got it.
And the $2, yeah. Cam, it feels like just yesterday we were talking about how the Rams are going to destroy the Bengals in the Super Bowl. It went by quick.
Actually, I didn't say that, Drew. I the Bengals plus 4.5. Don't lie already. It's week one. You're already lying to the people. Like,
I'm just saying. I was on the Rams big time in that one, and
hey, we middled, right? There's a middle job.
Yeah, it should have been a blowout, but anyways, week one is here, Cam, and to kick off the season, we got my Buffalo Bills, Tom's Buffalo Bills, your Buffalo Bills, kind of, going into LA to take on the Rams. The Rams are plus 2.5 underdogs. The Super Bowl champs being disrespected. I don't remember the last time the defending champs on the Thursday opener were underdogs, Cam. What do you think about this game?
It's tough. I think the Bills are going to win the game. As we look at the lines by the time of taping, the Rams are a 1-point dog, and then by the time of taping, it's 2.5. So a 1.5-point move, Drew. It's kind of disrespectful to the Super Bowl champions, but we do believe that Buffalo's a superior team. I think Matt Stafford's injury is worse than people are thinking. This is one media report I'm not buying into. I think he throws a lot of picks. I think he's having issues with his arm. And I think the Rams secondary, guys like Jalen Ramsey, talk too much. He actually is not as great as everyone thinks he is. They have good killers on the defensive line. But I just think this is essential for Buffalo with their schedule, with their division. Miami games are going to be tough to go in there and win this game. I like the Bills by 3 or 4 points. If you want to take the money line, you can. But we have to – the show's called Against the Spread. So give me Buffalo to win by 3 or 4. A field goal or 4. I don't love this game. But you're right. The Rams could be a dangerous home dog, and more of the public's on Buffalo too, which is concerning.
Yeah, Cam, like everything in my mind is saying to take the Rams here. Diggs has a brutal career against Jalen Ramsey. 4 career games, he has 20 yards. Like, it's just Ramsey shuts him down, which means it's going to be a Gabe Davis game. Ken Dorsey's first game of his OC for the Bills. Like, the formula just says, like, the Rams disrespected. They're going with a chip on their shoulder after just winning the Super Bowl. But I just think the Bills win this game, and if it was 3.5, I'm going Rams all day because
I agree. Yes, I agree. I know it's crazy to say like I'm going to change my bet because of a point spread, but the Rams if they were getting 3.5, 4 at home, then I like out of principle. Here's the thing: we're basically you guys love the Bills. You and Tom sleep with the Bills. The Bills are basically a former girlfriend. I would consider a friend, like somebody we still talk to after the breakup. Seahawks are my team, but they're garbage. But you guys are right. I know there's one thing I worry about, Bills, hype. You don't hear any negative about this team right now. Like, I know they are great. They should go to the Super Bowl. They have the weapons, but it's just Bills fever right now, and that's always concerning in the NFL, especially with the way people are betting now.
The Eagles and Bills are the trendy picks right now, and it scares me to pick those teams. All right, no Tommy Tiebreaker for game one. We know where he would go with this anyway, Cam, so it doesn't matter. The viewers know he's going on Buffalo.
Chalk it up, Buffalo Bill.
All right, moving on to Sunday, Cam. 7 hours of commercial-free football. Can't wait to hear that Hansen say that on Sunday. But New Orleans going to Atlanta, 5.5-point favorites on the road. The total is only 42.5, surprisingly. Do you believe in famous Jameis to smoke Atlanta out of their own building? Last time these two met, it was 30-20 New Orleans in January. Is it going to be the same old story?
I don't know, man. This is really tough. And we don't know coming out of the gate, as I told you, Drew, off the top, I like the preseason better. We nailed it in the preseason because you kind of know the quarterback rotations, what a coach is going to do. Now it's real. The Saints asking them in a division game to go in there and beat Atlanta by 6. I know they're supposedly a doormat. I think Marcus Mariota has a lot to prove this year. And I love the Saints this year, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. I'm going to start off with a home dog. I know it's not a popular pick, but I'm going to take Atlanta.
You love home dogs, though.
I do, and it's kind of like an old school way to gamble. And in the NFL, it's a good formula still. I could still get burned because I fall in love with too many dogs. But here's the thing: I love the Saints this year, but it's week one. I think eventually they're going to get better. I think they win by 4 points, and Atlanta just covers by the hook. Don't love the game. Give me Frank Falcon plus the 5.5.
Cam, first disagreement. I'm going with the Saints here.
Of course, you're going with the Saints, Drew.
Their defense is just
started.
Yeah, their defense is unbelievable, Cam. They
just
have to shut down Mariota and Kyle Pitts. Drake London's still banged up. I mean,
that's a problem.
Atlanta I don't know if they can move the football on this team. I mean, is Cordero Patterson still going to be the Patterson we saw last year? Probably not. Is he even going to play running back? It might be Damian Williams. I mean, I just think the Saints have to win by a touchdown. I believe in Jameis. He might throw a few picks, Cam, but he's a pretty good quarterback. So give me the Saints to go in and win this by 6 or 7. So yeah, Tommy Tiebreaker, first tiebreak of the season. Are you going with your brethren Cam Stewart or what?
I wish I could, but on this one, I'm going to go Saints. I think it just comes down to the Falcons' offensive line. They're brutal, and the Saints' defense is electric. And I think, like you said, Drew, Jameis doesn't have to be perfect in this game. Throw a couple of tutties, maybe a few picks, that he's good for. But I think that they'll do enough to win, and they'll win by a score. I think 7's a perfect number. So give me them Saints. Sorry, Cam, to start off on such a
no, Tom, you don't apologize for anything. And as I said, we pick every game. Listeners of the show, I don't love this game. It will not be making the minerals. I can tell you that. Like, I know the Saints people think they're going to blow these guys out of the gym. They probably do, but you know what it is, Tom? It's one of those things. I'm like, opener Atlanta. I don't think they're exposed as bad this week as when the season progresses. Like, I think they're going to play with a lot of heart in this game and lose by 4. But it's a tough divisional game in my opinion. It's not that easy.
I said on our preview show last week, Cam, I think they could flirt with 0-17 with those 3 other teams
that
I mentioned. So,
you think the Falcons? Yeah, I would say the Falcons or Seahawks will be the worst team in the league.
Or Bears. I think Bears are going to be real bad.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of that,
well,
that's a
moving
good
on.
segue.
Speaking of the Bears,
Yes.
San Fran going into Chicago. Chicago getting 6.5 points at home, which means San Fran's the favorites. The public is on Chicago. The total is 41.5. I'll start here, Cam. I think this is Trey Lance's coming out party. I think Chicago is one of the worst teams in the league. I think this is an absolute blowout. Like, I'm talking 31-10. So I think I have to take San Fran here, minus 6.5. What about you?
Actually, I think Eberflus is going to do a good job with this team. The problem is they have nobody to protect Fields. It's a disaster. Chicago's got a lot of holes on their team. Yeah, their offensive weapons, they're not really scary weapons. And I agree, it is week number 1, but I really think this Lance Garoppolo thing, it would be in his interest, don't you think, Drew, for Trey Lance to have a great game and then Jimmy kind of go, you know what, you're number 2, bud. You go on the road and beat Chicago by a touchdown or more. I think it's a good start for San Francisco. I think San Francisco's defense is lethal. They still have weapons on offense, and Lance can beat you with his legs just like Fields. I think the 49ers win this game by, like 8 to 11 points. They'll cover the number.
Kim.
The fact that some of the public's on Chicago kind of makes me like the favorite in the Niners.
100%. And if this game is, let's say, week 10 or something, I think this line is like 13.5. Like, I think it's just because of the opener, we don't know what we're going to see from Trey Lance. That's the only reason I think it's 6.5. So I think this is in mineral territory, as you say.
Mineral territory.
With Cam picking against 2 home dogs already to start the season.
That's the thing. But you could be on the right one. Say Chicago covers and Saints cover, then I'm in big trouble, right? Like, you know what I mean? Yes, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this: you could bet against home dogs, but not like some home dogs are gonna cover. You just got to pick your spots. And I've learned, Drew, betting over the years, it's usually the less obvious ones. Like the ones that you think have no chance are the ones that cover a lot of the time, right? So
like maybe the Houston Texans later. We'll see. We'll see what you think about
funny
that.
You mentioned that, Drew. That might have a mineral beside it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right. Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mitch Trubisky named the starting quarterback. The Bengals laying 6.5 at home. Just made it to the Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin, they beat the crap out of the Steelers in both games last year, Cam. Does that same old story continue to start this year, or do you believe in Mitch Trubisky?
I like Mitch Trubisky. I like the Steelers, but I don't know. It's just one of those situations where I think Cincinnati, the opposite of what people narrate is going to come true. Like, Super Bowl hangover. I'm not worried. I think this team actually has a real nasty taste in their mouth. People talking about Baltimore winning that division. Here's the deal. I think Pittsburgh's offense is going to struggle. Their defense might keep them in the game, though. But asking the Bengals to win by a touchdown, I think we get there. I know it's a tough divisional game, but you know what? See, Drew, I'm kind of being opposite, too. Like, it's week 1. I don't know what to do with this game. The old Cameron would definitely take the 6.5 with Pittsburgh, but I believe in this Bengals team, and I think they're at home, and I think they find a way to win this football game by 10 points and cover. Give me Cincinnati.
I want to take Cincinnati too, but
it's hard,
man. I don't believe in the Bengals to win by 6.5. If it was like 3.5, sure, but I think I'm on Mike Tomlin to go in there and give Cincinnati a run. I don't think he liked being embarrassed by them twice last year, so give me Mike Tomlin in the opener. I mean, we saw him upset the Bills in week 1 last year. Mike Tomlin's a very good coach, Cam. You give him 4 months to prep for a game.
That's true.
Yeah, I got to give him plus 6.5.
As I said, we have a bankroll for the season, and you know me, Drew. I bet on everything: horses, golf. Like this week, I'm not coming out guns a-blazing like $500. Ding, 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 ding. Like I'm really picking my spots and going. These are the games that I'm going to go hard on. The rest, I'm going to have some fun, put some parlays together. I would actually say this: for all the people. I know they say, oh, teasers are for losers. These numbers are sharp. People have been waiting the whole year to bet the NFL. Like, teasers aren't for losers. When you pick the right games and get those bonus points, how many times have we lost games by 1 point, by 2 points, by 3 points? So basically what I'm saying is, you know, we've all been burned. Pick your spots, right? I think it's going to be a tough week.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, teasing this up to 12.5 wouldn't be a bad idea if you're I think this might middle, Cam.
It might middle.
I think you could tease it both way. All right, Tommy Tiebreaker. Do you believe in your Steelers, like you mentioned last week, would make the playoffs in week 1? What do you think?
Yeah, it pains me to go back to back with Drew here, Cammy, but I have to.
I know you guys.
And not only did I say they win the division, I think I said they'd win 13 games. I don't know, maybe
wow,
a little high.
That was we forgot about that one.
Yeah, I don't know why I unearthed that. Yeah, I probably should have just let that die. But I'm gonna go with the Steelers. First of all, I don't think any spread should be, 6.5 points in this division. Between any of these teams, I think the division's too, outside of the Browns, I guess maybe. But when the big three are playing each other, I don't think the spread should be this deep. I know it's early in the season, expect small lines, but even that's a little off. I mean, when I saw 6.5, it kind of shocked me. And the only question mark I have here is the Bengals offensive line. I know they did a great job this offseason bringing in some reinforcements, but until you've seen them play, and it takes a couple of weeks for offensive lines to really gel and mesh and become that unit. And I just think the Steelers' defense is just that defensive line and those linebackers they're gonna feast. So Joey Burrow got sacked 50 plus times last season. I think he led the NFL in that regard. Until I see the trend shift, I'm gonna go with the elite defense against the suspect offensive line, even though they have reinforcements this year. So give me the Steelers.
So Tom, we both agree, Tom, that we could see Trubisky throwing a pick 6 to let the Bengals cover late in this game. Like
that would be fine.
In the realm of possibility.
I'm not going to put that evil on my boy Mitch. He was a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Mitch is all right.
Good vibes for Mitch.
He doesn't deserve bad vibes. He's good.
Yeah. Winning record as a starter, Cam.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine.
All right. Philadelphia, everyone's favorite Super Bowl pick this offseason, going to Detroit to take on everyone's favorite sleeper team because of Hard Knocks. Detroit plus 3.5 at home. The over-under is 48.5. Cam, I'll start here.
I was gonna say, when are you gonna start?
I'm starting here, okay? I love the Eagles, but give me the Lions as a home dog plus 3.5. They love to cover late in games. I could see them being down 10, scoring a garbage time touchdown, covering the 3.5. If it was 3, I might go Philly. The one thing I don't like the reverse line movement, Cam. The public's on Philly, and it's gone from 4 to plus 3.5, which is really weird. It's like they're like, hey, bet the Eagles. They're trying to trap the public. It feels like, so that's why I'm going on the Lions. What about you?
No, it's like usually that's my theory, Drew, and we'll see how it plays out. But now that it's 3.5, here's the thing. I love the Detroit Lions. Like, they're a team I really want to do well. I want their fan base to, experience something and get better. But at 3.5, I'm going to take Philadelphia. I know they're a very trendy team, but I think Jalen Hurts, that team, that defense, all the things that they do, that number should be a little bit higher in my opinion. I like Philadelphia to win this game by a touchdown. Maybe Detroit gets a backdoor cover, but I'm not going to make a bet just based on a backdoor cover in last possession. I think Philadelphia is a better team, but you're right. Guys, this is an old
You're falling for the
trick.
bait, Cam.
I am.
Vegas hook, line, and sinker.
They got me. Like, I'm the fish in the water, and I got a hook in my lip. And you know what? And if Detroit covers, Drew, I can tell you something. Week 2, I'm going back to old Cam and just doing everything I used to do. And it is a weird line, but I'm taking Philly, and I don't like it. But I told you I hate this. This card is hard. The first week, nothing's
I
clear
think week
right
2
now.
is usually harder, Cam, because people overreact to what happens in week 1.
No, that's good though. We take the over. The thing is, I like week 2 because you take overreactions. It happens in college too. Some teams aren't as good as they looked or as bad. That kind of water finds its level, right, buddy? So
yeah, I agree. This game has Survivor Pool Killer written all over it too, though. I think some guys might take Philly, and
that's dangerous.
It's got shocking time. All right, Tommy Tiebreaker. You going with Cam, or are you going 3 for 3 with me?
Oh, I think it's 2 for 3, but I'm gonna go with you, Drew. Yeah, call me crazy. I think the Lions will win this game.
Wow.
Well, there you go. There's your mineral pick. Then there's Tom's gold plus 3.5 Lions.
I think week 1 just comes down to I hate to say the word, but I think it comes down to vibes, and I think there's such a positive energy around the Lions right now. I know you could say the same thing about the Eagles, but the Eagles, I mean, there's no pressure really on the Lions. They can come out and win 4 or 5 games this year, and it's a success as long as they play good football. The Eagles, a lot of pressure, a lot of people talking. We've already mentioned a few times they're kind of like the love me pick, the honeymoon pick. Everyone wants them to do well. Everyone thinks they're going to do well. And I just think it might be a bit of a slow start for them. I don't know. And the Lions are going to be ready to play. DC will have them ready, fired up. It's not the team I'd want to play in week 1. And so
it's a good point.
I'm going to take the Lions.
Well, Cam, it looks like you're either going to be destroying mine and Tom's record next week, or it might be the other way around based on Tom.
It could be the other way around. I might have to give you guys a call on Friday to retape because I.
Yeah. Don't worry about that, Cam. I know we're both going to be on the same side in this one.
Yes.
Miami hosting New England. Miami -2.5 at home. Cam, if you want me to start again, this one.
I'll start here, Drew. Give me
right,
Miami. I'll take Miami -2.5. I actually believe in Tua. I believe in the defense. Miles Gaskin's not your top running back. There's so much to love in Miami and so much to prove. I like this number too. I would have set this line at 3.5. Actually, I think it's kind of weird, and I'm kind of worried. Actually, I think Miami's a better team than New England. More people, the public's on Miami. Hey, we sink or swim with the fish. Come on, Dolphin, let's go. Let's go for a ride here. I like Miami in the game, and I really think Tua understands. They give him all the weapons in the world. Waddle, Hill. If you can't do it with this team, you're never going to do it. It's put up or shut up time. Give me the fish by 8 points in this game as they beat their rival New England.
I agree, Cam. I think Miami's always had Belichick's number for some reason. Like, he always struggles in Miami. So I think adding their pieces, their team on paper is so much better than New England. The only thing is that I could see Damian Harris and Stevenson just running all over this Miami defense. And Belichick just getting a pick here and there. Like, it's up to 2-0, like you said. But I just think 2.5, it's too low. I would take this up to 4.5 probably. So give me Miami. We're in agreement on the home Miami Dolphins. All right, moving on. The Baltimore Ravens going to New York to take on the Jets. Ravens laying 6.5 on the road. The total is 44.5. It looks like Zach Wilson may play, Cam, which may change my mind a little bit. But as long as it's Flacco right now, it seems like Flacco is going to be the starter. I think they hold Zach Wilson out 1 week to be safe. So I'll start here. Give me the Ravens -6.5 on the road.
Yeah, and if you're going to look, I'm looking at just the numbers right now. I'm seeing almost an 8-2 spread with the public, 10 people betting, like close to 80% on Baltimore.
Yep.
I'd probably take the Jets, but that's the thing. I can't take them without the quarterback situation. I like Joe Flacco though. But the problem is, it's just he's not very mobile. He's getting older.
Cornerbacks like Joe Flacco too, Cam. Lots of picks.
You know what? Give me the Jets at +6.5.
Ooh.
I have no rhyme or reason to this pick other than everyone's on Baltimore. None. No empirical data. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's playing for something. I think the Jets just come out and they play a tight game. You know, you're asking Baltimore to win by 7 on the road. Give me the Jets. I told you, I might get pummeled this week.
The Ravens do like to play down to their opponents.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
But the Jets, I just don't know how they stop the rushing offense.
I don't know what I'm doing, Drew, but yeah. maybe I'm rope-a-doping you, and I like these picks, but I'm really not. I'm nervous as hell, and I don't really have a good feeling about that game. There's a couple games I like, and that's not one of them. But I'll take.
No, I don't like this game either. In my top 3 for sure. Tommy Tiebreaker. Are we gonna go 4 for 4?
I feel like.
Do it, Tom.
I'm gonna go with the Jets just because I'm so scared to bet on the Ravens because of last year. I have cold feet with the Ravens. I think what's gonna happen here is, the Ravens will win this football game, obviously, but I think the Jets will come out maybe a little early, get a bit of a lead, and then Lamar has to go hero in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and I think he will, and they'll win with a field goal, or JT will hit some crazy field goal to win the game. I don't know. I don't see them. They're not really a team that gives me a lot of confidence to cover numbers, at least not yet. I got to see the new look Ravens that everyone's been talking about. But until they prove me otherwise, this is a 1-point win team like they were all last year. It was 7 or 8 games where they won by less than 3 points or something crazy like that. So,
know what it is, Tom? If the Jets had any type of, this is the thing. If they get any type of offensive line play, they'll cover this game. That's the thing. If you give Flacco time, Drew, but the problem is their line's beat up. That's why it's more of a concern. Like a veteran quarterback like Flacco, I know he's not great, but remember, he did win a Super Bowl. He can find ways to keep it close.
He looked so bad in the preseason, though, too.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of bad things going on. They also they also had to play 3rd stringers because they couldn't afford to get some of their starters hurt, or they wouldn't have a season. They're already really banged up, Drew. That's the thing, right? So, hey,
I'm not. If it was Chris Trevler, Cam, I'd be betting on the Jets.
That's another thing. We talked about this on our show. Chris Trevler was a great quarterback in the Canadian Football League with Winnipeg. He was a damn good backup in Arizona. Remember coming back and covering numbers, winning games? The guy's actually good. Jets, you guys are stooges. You should have kept Trevler around. You're going to regret that move. Chris Trevler could actually be a very serviceable, as a 3rd stringer, he'd probably be one of the best 3rd stringers in the league. He's good.
100%. I mean, do you really believe in Mike White as your backup with Joe Flacco? Like, come on.
Yeah, guys played a little bit. Yeah, one good game. That's the whole thing. One damn good.
All right.
Trevor's a pro. I'm with you, Drew. That was a really good point by you.
All right, the Stewarts banding together on the New York Jets. That's their team. That's their team. They both love the Jets.
That's sweet. Do we? I don't know.
Moving on, the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Washington to take on the Commanders. Cam.
Now this
Carson
game
Wentz.
Sucks.
I love this game.
Oh, do you really? Tell me who you like.
Carson Wentz last year getting a lot of disrespect, Cam. 27 touchdowns, only 7 picks, led the Colts to 9 wins. I mean, he did have lay some eggs where they should have probably won 11 games and made the playoffs, but they didn't. But Washington's a very good football team on paper, Cam, outside of the quarterback position. And I believe in Carson Wentz a little bit better, more than most people. So give me Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders -3.5 all day. Jacksonville's first game with their new head coach and going into Washington on the road. I think this is an easy pick. I love it.
I don't think it's easy, but I like Washington to barely cover the numbers. So I'm with you. But with Jacksonville, I'll probably be betting these guys, but more as the season progresses, as they get better and Peterson gets to understand his team a little bit more. They do have weapons, but you know what? Trevor Lawrence, until I see it, buddy, like I liked you better at Clemson. Like that's the whole thing. They had a nice little draft. They have a couple players, but Washington's also being disrespected. Like people mock the Commanders and, you know, it's an easy team to make fun of their stupid logo. Their owner's a clown, the team. But you know what? Week 1 at home, beating the Jags by all they have to do is win by 4 to cover. I'm with you on that one, Drew.
It's the only thing that has me worried, Cam. Yet again, like we said, the reverse line movement opened at 4. 63% of the public's on Washington. It's still
keep track of this. If we lose every game with the reverse line move, all we do is bet it the next time.
Every time, just bet against it. Exactly. Yeah. It's Vegas hooking us in. We're both falling for the bait on this one. All right, moving on. Your Cleveland Browns, Cam, with Jacoby Brissett going to Carolina to take on Baker Mayfield. Carolina laying 2.5 at home. Baker Mayfield said, "I'm going to bleep these guys up." You want me to start? You want to start?
Yeah, I know. You start.
All right. I love Cleveland in this spot. Absolutely love them. Their O-line's better. Their D-line's better. Baker Mayfield saying he really wants this one. You didn't really want the last 32 games he started for the Cleveland Browns. Like, oh, you just really want this one. You know who also really wants this one? The entire Browns defensive line. I just think the Carolina Panthers, they don't have very talented football team, Cam, on paper.
Their defense is good. I would look at the under in this.
Not better than Cleveland's.
No. Cleveland's got a better defense. I agree with you.
I just think, and then 75% of the public's on Carolina. This is just,
you know what? You're right.
Public, do it.
You're right.
Just,
You're right on this game. I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not laying points with Carolina. If Carolina was getting 2.5, 3, I'd consider it, but they're the favorites in this game. McCaffrey, I have him in my pool. He'll probably get hurt. What else is new? You know what? They'll grind with Mayfield, but the thing is, Jacoby Brissett and that team has a lot to prove as well. And Cleveland's running attack is absolutely stellar.
Nick Chubb might get 200 yards rushing in this game. They might just keep running it down their throat.
That's what I'm saying. Like I see a lot of clock ticking, a lot of big chunks on the ground. Yeah, give me Cleveland plus 2.5, Drew. You sold me on that one. I was actually really twisted on this game, but the more I think about it, the more I like Cleveland.
Tom's shaking his head. I think he's in love with the Baker story.
Good. He likes it. Tom's got a pet panther. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, Cam. This is one of my favorite games of the week. The Colts.
Oh, really?
Houston.
Good.
To take on the Texans.
Good.
Colts laying 7.5 on the road. Last year, Cam, the total in these two games, the Texans against the Colts, was 62-3 for Indianapolis. And Lovie Smith, not only is he back in the coaching, but he's now their head coach, not just their DC. Where are you going in this one? I'll let you start.
Oh, I guess the video's out, and I'm either going to look smart or really stupid. I love Houston. Love Houston in this spot. I think now this is the home dog I can sit my teeth into. I think they're better than everyone thinks they are. I think they win over 4.5 games. Asking the Colts, and I like the Colts. I have them to win the division, but asking them to go on the road and win by more than a touchdown in week 1, I'm not down with that program. I think they find a way to squeak out a win. This could be, you know what? You want to talk about survivor pick nightmare? Say Houston wins this game. Everybody's done, because this will be the top survivor pick of everyone and their mother, right? So I'm thinking a little bit differently. I think Houston, I like Davis Mills. I like Pierce. I like a lot of things that this team can do. I think their defense is not great, but better than advertised. They're not the worst defense in the league. They're bad. Indianapolis, they have Jonathan Taylor. I get it, but still, Matt Ryan, he'll do his thing. They just want to. I find Indianapolis will go in there, win the game, but I don't think it's going to be pretty. Give me the 7.5 points with the Houston Texans.
Cam, I'm completely opposite feeling.
Hey, that's why we do the show.
Colts laying 7.5. I think they win this game by like 35 points.
Oh,
like
God mercy, have mercy.
Houston scored 3 total in 2 games against this team last year, Cam. Frank Reich owns the Texans.
35 points. Maybe
and I just think they're going to destroy them, like absolutely destroy them, Cam. I love this pick. Give me the Colts minus 7.5.
Yes.
Tommy Tiebreaker. Which one of us is the crazy one?
Are we overlooking the Marlon Mack redemption arc here? Like, what's going
He's not
on
even
here,
playing.
fellas?
He got cut.
Oh well, never mind then. Jesus, I was really excited to see him.
Snip. Yeah, he gone.
Yeah.
My bad, Marlon. My bad, dude. I got to keep up with my Colts cuts.
We're busy guys. I get it.
Listen, this pick is solely out of love for my man Jerry Hughes. I want his football team to win. So I'm going to pick the Houston Texans because of the love for my man, Jerry Hughes, who I miss very much so. I hope him and this Texans cover this number. It's going to be tough. Colts look good. One of the best offensive lines against one of the worst. So it's going to be a boring football game if you don't like balls in the air. But we'll see Jonathan Taylor run the ball 45 times and whoever's behind the quarterback for the Texans run it 45 times too. So it's going to be a boring game. I just think, whatever. Jerry Hughes, 7.5 points. Go Texans.
Texans.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys believe in them, go for it. Davis Mills, though.
I believe in them. I believe in the point spread. It's a lot of points, Drew. That's all I'm saying.
But Cam, they scored 3 points in 2 games against him last year.
That was last year.
Yeah, I know. And the Colts got better. I know.
Yeah, anyway, that's why we do the show. Crazy thing. Hey, did not crazy things happen last year on the show and the Saints beating the Buccaneers by like 30-something points?
Yeah,
it happens. Like weird things happen. It's the National Football League. Give me the damn Texans.
All right, Cam. The Giants going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans laying 5.5 at home. The total here is 43.5. A low total, I thought. Brian Dable in his debut. He's not calling plays, though, surprisingly. Mike Kafka will be the one calling plays for the Giants.
Kafka?
I'll
Former
start.
Northwestern quarterback, Mike Kafka?
Yeah. I will start. I love the Titans in the spot, Cam. Everyone's disrespecting them, including yourself.
Yep.
But the Giants are in shambles. I think their team's a mess. They might have the worst roster in football. Like, they're going to be bad, and I think Derrick Henry alone can win this football game. And don't doubt my boy Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. I think Tennessee wins this game by a touchdown, so give me them my laying 5.5. Reverse line moving again, though, Cam.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like people are betting the Giants. Everyone's on Tennessee. This has got disaster written all over it. These are games that I don't like to bet a lot of money on. I lean Tennessee. I think they'll find a way to win by a touchdown in this game. The spread is 5.5. Yeah, you're right, Drew. Like they are being disrespected, and I like the Colts in the division. I just think Tennessee, they got some injuries. The Giants, though, I just can't back this team on the road. If I was getting more than a touchdown, I would consider it, but at that number 5.5, I just can't. Barkley's talking about, things are going to be different. You got to show me. Danny Dimes, show me. And I hate to say it, their coaching staff, like it's buffoon city with the Giants. Like they got some like real bad. Like you want to talk IQ
You hire
tests?
Brian Dable because of his offensive mastermind, and he's not calling plays. Who made that decision?
I don't know what these guys are doing. Bring back Tom Sulo, the guy in the windbreaker. I liked him. Your mom's ex, the guy who comes over after dad leaves town and goes to like Millhouse's dad's apartment complex. Give me the Titans minus 5.5. Let's go.
All right, we're in agreement. Moving on to a big NFC North matchup. The Green Bay Packers going to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. I feel like you loved the Vikings a lot last year, Cam, and you can start this one. Let's see if you love them again. Packers minus 1.5 on the road. Tell us why the Vikings are going to win this football game.
I just love everything about the Vikings. I like Jefferson. I think Cousins is underrated. I think Dalvin Cook will be fine. If he gets banged up, they got a nice 1-2 punch in Madison. I think their young defense, I have a couple issues there. I think they'll continue to get better as the season progresses. As for Green Bay, their receivers will get better as the season progresses. Lots of rookies there. They got a good D, but you know what? Minnesota's at home. They find a way. Huge game out of the gates. Give me the Vikings. And sometimes Aaron Rodgers starts season slow. Give me Minnesota plus 1.5. I'll take the 1.5.
All right, Cam, we're disagreeing here.
Good.
I see former MVP Aaron Rodgers, not former MVP, the current MVP Aaron Rodgers only have to win by 2 points against the Vikings. I understand they have receiving issues.
Smells like a trap.
I believe in my boy Sammy Watkins week 1, Cam, before he gets injured and later in the season. My favorite bet of this game, though, I love the total 48.5. I think it goes way over this number. I think that's too low with these two offenses. But yeah, give me the Packers laying 1.5 on the road. I think it could take O'Connell a bit of time to get this offense moving. I don't think it's smooth sailing right out of the gates. Tommy Tiebreaker, where are you going? You going with your boy Stu?
No, I'm going back with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Triple rhyme there. Yeah, I'm going to take the Pack. I love this team. I think they've got something special. I love a division matchup early in the season with the low, a small spread like that. Like you said, Drew doesn't have to go in and do that much. Defense is going to be electric. They got a great running game. They're going to cause a lot of problems for the Vikings. I think they come out with a win, maybe by a score, 6 points, 6.5 points, 7 points.
Ooh.
I would take the Pack probably all the way up to there. That's how confident I am with that team. So yeah, give me Green Bay.
Oh no, when Tommy's super confident.
No, but he didn't do it with the ego.
The arrogance.
He said, he was, that was a confident pick, not an arrogant pick. So that's usually good for Tom. Very good.
And yet again, reverse line movement, and I'm falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I don't like it. All this reverse line movement. Vegas knows what's going on. They're going to make a lot of money this
week. We will see. Yeah, we'll see.
All
so
right.
what are we talking about here? Kansas City, Arizona?
Kansas City going to Arizona, Cam. The Super Bowl is in Arizona this year. KC might be making a trip back there come February, but we will see. They're laying 3.5 on the road. This could be a look-ahead game with the Chargers on docket on Thursday Night Football next week for the Chiefs. Do you believe in the home dog Cardinals? You know
Yes.
how I feel about the Cards. I never believe in them. So
well, good, because I'm going to take the 3.5 with the Cardinals. The world's going to be on Kansas City in this game. It's all doom and gloom. We'll see. I'm getting a home dog 3.5 in the Kansas City. You got to go into Arizona to win that game. I just think it's going to be really, really tight. I think Kansas City, if they win between 1 and 3. That hook is big to me. I'm going to take cheap the Arizona Cardinal. I like Arizona in this spot. I just don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Kansas City. They'll do some damage at home. This is a tougher road game than people think. Hence the line's only 3.5. It's there for a reason. Give me Arizona to cover.
Cam, I tried tricking you. I'm also on Arizona in this one. I think
it didn't work.
Could be trouble. It could be trouble for Mahomes and the boys on the road in Week 1. And I think Arizona likes to start strong and then they fall off because they're not a real contender. So I think they could start strong in this one. We might see Hollywood Brown go for 100 and a touchdown. And it's 3.5. Huge reverse live moon in this one, Cam. Like everyone's betting the Chiefs, and they're like, "Oh, we'll keep giving you more points, Arizona." Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's really weird. So, give me Arizona plus 3.5. All right, moving on, Cam, to probably my favorite game of the week. This will be on the big screen. Vegas going to LA to take on the Chargers. I'm blindly betting the home team here, which is the Raiders, surprisingly. It's going to be a black and silver crowd, Cam. I think it might be 80% Raiders fans in attendance. And you're giving me plus 3.5 with the home team. Give me the Raiders easily in this spot. Where are you going?
I'm actually going to surprise you and take the Chargers here. I think they're going to find a way to win this game by a touchdown. I think I really like what the Raiders have done, but the Chargers have a lot to prove. Herbert's going to have an extremely good year. I like all their team when they're healthy before Eckler and all these guys get banged up. Don't really like Staley, some of the moves he made, a little too aggressive, but I think the Chargers find a way. A lot of this Raiders hype, I think they make a statement in Week 1 and win this game, divisional game, by a touchdown. It's going to be a good one, but give me the Lightning Bolts in this spot, and I really like their defense as well. So I'm going to take the Chargers to cover 3.5.
Are you not worried about the Chiefs on Thursday for the Chargers? Maybe a little look ahead spot?
I'm worried about everything, Drew, but I like the Chargers in this game.
All right. Tommy Tiebreaker. You going with the black and silver or the baby blue and gold?
I'm getting nervous because I'm picking a lot of games against Cam, and that's
just
scares me.
Sometimes I do good, Tom, but I've had my weeks where I fall on my face too.
Yeah, but
so
they're not usually this bad. I don't know. I'm obviously reading something wrong here. I'm not saying anything outrageous here. I mean, I'm so excited to watch both these teams. I just think I'm a little bit more excited to see the Raiders play. I want to see Chandler Jones. I want to see Devontae Adams with Carr. And I think to get them at underdogs 3.5 points, I think that's fun money for me. I'm going to put a couple bucks on this game for sure. And either way, I'll be happy watching two elite teams play and dog it out all year. This is going to be a great little table setter for this division.
Exactly.
Cam, you do agree that it'll be a lot louder when Herbert's on offense versus the other way around.
Yeah,
right? The Raiders fans will be
I'm
strong.
concerned about it. I'm just surprised that they left the line at 3.5, not 2.5, because people have faith in the Raiders. To me, the line tells me more. It's about sucking people in with Raiders money. That's why I'm betting the Chargers too. There's kind of method to my madness, and I could be dead wrong. I could be
the Chargers
really
are
wrong.
the kings of laying an egg. That's what I
That's the issue. I like the way the number sets up for the Chargers for betting. Like people are going to pound the Raiders, but you're right. The Chargers also are money burners a lot of the time.
I still remember when they screwed us last year, Cam. I think we both had the Chargers in that Week 18 game, and then all they needed was a tie, and then somehow they just let the Raiders walk down and win
what
the
they
game.
do. It's true.
It's embarrassing. All right, rematch of Week 1 last year, Cam, the Thursday nighter. Tampa going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Tampa laying 1.5 on the road. You can start this one because this one's probably the toughest game of the week for me to pick because I could see it going either way. You tell me who you're picking and why.
I hate this game. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. We're getting 2.5 at home. I don't know why. There's really no rhyme or reason other than the fact that Tom Brady, he's got a lot of stuff on his mind. As he said, hey, I'm almost 50. Like, life comes at you. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like, that's the thing. It's not these kids who can just focus on football. He's got a lot of going on in his head. His offensive line's banged up. Dallas' offensive line is banged up. As you see,
it's a mess for both teams.
Yes, it is. It's an absolute gong show for both teams. Total's gone from 50 to 52. I'm going to take the 2.5 points with Dallas and hold my breath. As we said, we make picks on every game. When I'm betting, I will not be I'll find a way to bet this game with something. Dallas in a teaser, because I don't think they get blown out probably, but we have to pick a side. Give me the Cowboys plus 2.5. Hold your breath.
Cam, I'm seeing 1.5. Where are you seeing 2.5?
On covers. That's where we get our spreads from.
Oh, that's where I'm on right now. Okay, well, let's
you know what, Drew? Here's a tip. Hit refresh and tell me what you see.
Yeah, it changed. It went down a point in the last hour then because I printed it out. All right. Well, I'm still going with Tampa Bay. You're giving me Brady less than a field goal to win.
Where are you getting? So what's going on here? Like, that's why I say the spreads in the videos, so to make sure we're on the same.
No, we'll do 2.5. We'll do yours. We'll do 2.5.
That's what it is. We'll do yours.
We'll do 2.5 because it gives you an easier pick and gives me a harder pick. I'm still taking Brady minus 2.5.
Drew, yeah. I love this guy. Tom, I love Drew. He's the best. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
I'm still taking Tampa, Cam, minus 2.5 on the road.
I'm probably going to regret taking Dallas, buddy. That's a good pick.
I just think you're giving me Brady in a primetime spot. Unless if Gallup was healthy and playing for Dallas, I think I would like Dallas a bit more. But like, you got to rely on Zeke against the defensive line that Tampa's bringing at you with that brutal O line. You're believing in Jason Peters.
A lot of Pollard.
4 days.
A lot of dump offs to Pollard.
Pollard's not a wide receiver too, Cam. He's a running back.
I know, but we'll see.
If Godwin's healthy too, I think Tampa could blow them out of the water.
Maybe.
So give me Tampa Bay. Tommy Tiebreaker. Are you gonna make it like 6 for 7 with me or what?
And you took the words right out of my mouth. It's Chris Godwin being back and healthy, and just the weapons that Tom will have at his discretion. I don't know what Russell Gage's health wise is, but just more toys to play with. Obviously, I think both these teams are going to take significantly big steps back. That's my hot take of the season. I don't think either of these teams are going to be necessarily vying for their division. Obviously that's such a hot take to say because they both are going to be, but I just don't.
Tom Brady not even going to be vying for his division.
I don't think it's like such a.
I like Tom's bold. No, my favorite's Pittsburgh winning 13, but continue, Tom.
and the Bucks and the Cowboys not vying for their division. Yeah, I'm full of them this week, but I just think Tom Brady will be ready to play. He's got that stupid chip on his shoulder, and I hate playing. I hate picking for Brady. Hate picking and supporting Brady, but got to take him in the spot. I think the Cowboys are going to show a lot of people how bad they are in this week 1 matchup. They're not what we think they are, and all will be revealed on Sunday night.
Wow. All right. It's Tommy on my side once again. Moving on, Cam. Your Seattle Seahawks. You got to start this one. The Broncos. Russell Wilson leading the Broncos into Seattle, laying 6.5 on the road. Prime time spot. Can Geno Smith and the Seahawks cover once again like they did in 3 out of his 4 starts last year, Cam?
The answer is yes. I think this Denver game gone from 4.5 to 6.5. Is that the number you got, Drew? I was hoping to get 7.5. But I know if you like the Seahawks, everyone wait, because this line will definitely go to 7.5 by game time. I'm going to take Seattle, but we're betting it. This is when we do the show. 6.5 I'll take. I think Denver finds a way to win this game. I think it's a tougher dogfight than you think. They're a much better team than Seattle, but this is Seattle's Super Bowl. It's week 1, Russell Wilson, everything. If Seattle's going to bring it, it's going to be this week. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but I think Denver will probably win this game by 4 to 6 points. And I'm getting 6.5. It's going to be very close to the number. I will take Seattle. The whole world's on Denver too. Hopefully that's the way it goes. But I wouldn't be surprised if this line got over the 7-point threshold. Give me Seattle plus 6.5.
Cam, I want to go with you. I hate betting publicly backed favorites like this. 75% of the public's on the Broncos. I hate going with them. I don't see any spot on the entire roster where Seattle's better than Denver. Like, I'm going through the whole list. I'm like, O-line, no. Defense, no.
It's a problem.
Corners, no. Quarterback, no. Receivers, no. I got to go Denver just on paper. Just like it's a juggernaut facing. It's David against Goliath. And David did win that fight, so maybe he can again here. But give me the Denver Broncos on the road, Cam. Tommy Tiebreaker. You got to go Seattle out of the rule of thumb. You have to go Cam at least twice.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I'm finishing strong here. I'm going to go Seattle. I love this spot. And week 1 is all feel vibes, positive energy. One team here, they don't want to just let this guy walk back into their barn and embarrass them. That very well might be what happens, but you got to think that the Seahawks put up a bit of a fight, and I don't think the Broncos are necessarily as good as everyone thinks they are. I think that there's a lot of prove me there as well. Just because you add Russell Wilson doesn't make you automatic Super Bowl contenders, at least in my eyes. So I think Seattle puts up a good fight, and they cover that number. I hope the number, as we're saying, gets a little bigger. I can see that around 9.5, maybe 8.5. And in that case, like Cam,
I think it'll get to at least 7.5, Tom, by game time.
Definitely wait if you like the Hawks, like we've been saying, but I'll take them in this spot and finish on the right side of history with my man Cammy Stew.
Yeah.
Cam, do you think Russell Wilson gets booed?
No, I don't. I think he'll get more ovations.
I see a lot of hate for him online, and I don't get it. I mean, what did you want the guy to do? Come and just win 4 games with you next year? Like,
no, that's the thing. People remember, like, Russell Wilson was a great Seahawk. They drafted him, and he wasn't like an early pick too. He had a great career. There's a couple of things he could have done differently. Like sometimes, like, he's a polarizing figure though sometimes, because a lot of people think he's a phony. Like that they're starting to think like he's happy and this and that all the time. And you know what I mean? I think that's just his personality. I just think that's who he is. Like he's just Mr. Friendly. But you know what, Drew? A lot of the time, I think he also created problems for himself. Like all those times running around and stuff. He didn't do the simple play. Like he did magical plays. He also did bad plays. And I think that's some of the, like, as a Seahawks fan, I think you can't just look at him as like the greatest. He was awesome, but don't get me wrong. He also made some mistakes too. Like at the end, you could
like to leave the pocket early for sure.
Yes.
Like you don't need. It's not breaking down as much as you think, Russ. Just
exactly. I agree, Drew, with that. I agree with that statement.
All right, let's move on to our best bets of the week, Cam. We'll begin with the bronze picks. Do you have yours ready? Would you like me to start with my bronze?
I would like you to start. As always, you're probably got them filed away.
Yes. So my bronze pick this week, Cam, is the Colts laying 7.5 on the road. I know you like the Texans, but I love this pick in this spot. So give me the Colts as my bronze. Tommy Tiebreaker, you can give us your bronze while Cammy finds his.
My bronze pick is the Detroit Lions at plus 3.5 points.
You know what, Drew? Mine is going to be the same game, so we're on the opposite side. Give me the Houston Texans as my bronze pick at plus 7.5 against Indy.
I don't like when we pick against each other in our best bets, Cam. It makes me feel bad because one of us is going to get one wrong.
But you know what? It's a guaranteed win for people going with you on the show. That's what I like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Fair. All right, my silver is Green Bay against Minnesota over 48.5 points. I think this game is going to be an absolute shootout. I know Green Bay has a great defense, but I think Kevin O'Connell unlocks the Vikings offense a little bit. So I'd see it going like 28-27, something crazy like that. So give me Green Bay and Minnesota over 48.5 as my silver. Tommy Tiebreaker, what's your silver pick?
I'm going back to the spreads. Baltimore Ravens minus 6.5 over them New York Jets.
Ravens minus 6.5. Confidence. I like it. Cam, what's your silver?
Silver, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins minus 3.5 against New England. Man, wasn't it 2? Oh, I made it at 2.5 when the video came out. Now it's 3.5.
Yeah.
Can I get it at 2.5? That's what I liked it at, but now it's everything's changing.
We said, what did we say? Hang on, I got to hear it. We have them at 2.5. Yeah, you're right. You get it at 2.5.
Thank you. I take the Dolphins at 2.5 when we do the video. I'll take 3.5. Holy geez, people are betting this. Like, man, lines are changing as we're doing things. NFL, click. Give me the fish minus 2.5.
All right, and gold. I will start it off. I love the Washington Commanders laying 3.5 at home. I think this is the easiest pick of the week. I know Cam disagreed with me, but I love it so much. Give me that as my gold. Washington and Carson Wentz by 3.5. Tommy, what is your gold pick of the week?
Stick with spread. San Francisco minus 6.5 over the Chicago Bears, and I'll chase that all the way to minus 28.
Wow.
That makes me less confident that I took San Fran, but okay. Cam,
see
give us your gold.
That was cocky, Tom. That's arrogant, Tom. Anyway, I'm gonna go gold pick. I'm actually wow. Like, see, all my numbers are getting better now. Actually, the Dolphins one got worse. I'm seeing Arizona 5.5. It doesn't matter. I'll take them at 4.5. Yeah. Go to covers. Just hit refresh, buddy. People are betting this stuff like it's going like they already got the newspaper. Give me cheap. That's 5 chirps. Give me sorry, I'm only allowed 4. Cheap. 4.5 chirps with Arizona. They're 4.5 point home dogs to the Chiefs. Tougher game for Kansas City than people think. I like the Birds.
That's absolutely insane because I got it at 3.5 an hour ago when I printed it.
See, this is one thing. What do we do to solve this problem when we're doing the show? Like, what do we do?
I'll send you the things when I print it, and then we'll just go off the sheet that I print.
We have to have consistent spreads, because if I hit refresh and we're at different numbers, like numbers are changing. Drew, this is crazy. Like, look at Washington now. It was 4. It's 2.5.
I know. We both picked the Cardinals at plus 3.5 when we said it on the show, and now it's 5.5. So we both absolutely love it now. But okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Cam, Cardinals plus 5.5. Sebastian, who's editing the show, is going to be like, "Why is the lower third say 3.5, but Cam's best bet's 5.5?" Oh, well, that's how it works.
So know what? Maybe I got to switch it then. Do I have to switch it? Oh, okay. Thanks.
No, it's all good. It's all good, Cam. All right, Survivor picks. My gold pick is the Colts, and I know it's Johnny Public, Cam. I hate doing division games, especially road games. Do I go Baltimore? No. No. Give me Indy. Going to Indianapolis and Survivor. The chalk play. I'm going to regret it maybe, but I love the Colts this week, so got to do Colts.
I'm going to do Tennessee, even though the game I don't love it.
You're the Titans hater.
Yeah, well, it's either that. Like, am I going to take Washington over Jacksonville? Or like, there's some. What do you even Cincinnati,
San Fran,
Pittsburgh?
Baltimore?
I don't like those road games. I'm going to save San Fran. Just give me Tennessee and get them out of the way real quick. I don't have to use them ever again.
Tom, who is your Survivor selection?
I'll take the Saints week 1 here. I know that's probably the smartest move in the world, but I feel cocky. I want to move the needle a little bit here. So yeah, give me the Saints.
Move the needle.
All right, I love it. Well, that is week 1 wrapped up. Cam, before we get out of here, give us the game you're most excited to watch this weekend outside of the Thursday nighter.
That's a great question, Drew. Well, Seattle, Denver, even though the Seahawks sucks, I'm really going to be excited to see Russell Wilson come back, like the good memories of our team. And I actually really, really want to watch this. I would like to watch Miami pummel New England. And one other game that I like, Green Bay, Minnesota, obviously. That is a great football game. Those are 2 heavyweight teams in the division going at each other in Minnesota. We'll get to see, like, hey, can Minnesota step up? They're getting 1.5. Should be fun. Great games. Great games to start.
It is a great slate, Cam, and I am looking forward to see if Baker Mayfield's all talk, if he puts up or shuts up. I think he's going to shut up, but it'll be fun to watch. People don't want to watch that game, but
it's a good
I
game.
want to give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
Well, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe. We will see you next week for week 2. Hopefully both of us went 10-6 somehow, because we were picked against each other a lot. So hopefully we middle the pack, but otherwise one of us is going to be very upset next week, Cam. But don't forget to click like. We will see you next week, and give us your best bets in the comments below. See you, everybody.